Your brokerage fee. Question is, before you even go in listing a FISBO, what's your brokerage fee? What are you going to say? Your company may have a policy, and that's what you have to do. You may be independent and you're able to establish your own number. So we're going to first of all talk about, I'm not going to say a number that here, charge this because charge whatever you want, and that your broker allows you to, and anything that you're looking to do in your career. But um, when the seller says to you on the phone that, what's your brokerage fee, even if it's your friend, I came up with years ago. I said, you know what? Every listing is project based. Would it be fair or right that every brokerage fee is the same? So it depends on market condition in property condition. So if we could set that aside for just right now, take a look at the property, and nobody pressed me on it. I've been coaching agents for years who had to defer that question until you've actually demonstrated what you do. To quote your brokerage fee before they know how competent you are is very sometimes dismissing. They just go, okay, thanks. They just kind of dismiss what you just told them because they didn't, oh, your fee is blank. Good for you. And it's like that's part of the decision-making process when you have the discussion on the brokerage fee, not just something you say in passing. So the the so first of all, it's what's your brokerage fee? The answer, I believe, is every listing is project based. And, is it fair that the number would always be the same? I went on a listing call not too long ago in Naples where the seller said, well, here's what our list price would be, and here's the brokerage fee. It was $280,000. And it's like one show and you're done for the year. And so is it right that the brokerage fee was 280,000 when that same agent they were interviewing was doing a different deal that day, but the broker's fee was $8,000? Was it more hours? How can you argue that it was more hours than 280,000? My gosh, it, it should be more hours, but is it so much more skill that's necessary? So to do that, I just hear agents arguing with me right now that I'm worth it. It's like, no, most of us are not worth it. I mean, first deal I ever got paid, excuse me, one of the deals, I made $42,000. I couldn't believe that somebody paid me $42,000 for one sale on their property. So the first of all, you have to figure out what fee you're going to do. But when you're presenting it, you always want to write it. You don't want to say it. You want to present it and slide it in front of somebody and watch the reaction. Because some people might go, oh, that's fine. You didn't ask them what they thought. But a lot of times people go, that's fair. Or they're thinking we were thinking it was a little bit lower. I want to get a response out of people. And since people are visually oriented, I learned years ago, write the brokerage fee that the buyer side would be earning. For example, you think the seller should offer um, two and a half, two, 500 bucks, whatever it is, 3%, 9%, whatever it is. Write down, here's what the buyer's side would get, because that's half the battle. What they really want to know is what's the listing side for your services? And is the price different if you double dip? Like you find the buyer and there's no other agent involved. And what's your broker say you can do? Are you independent? Can you make all your own decisions? But presenting it, you always start with what you recommend the other side would get, who's somebody who brought you a buyer. And and so that's the first part. And then you write down, okay, here's what the listing side would get. You could write them on the same piece of paper and slide it over to them. And then the question I've often asked is, based on the price, excuse me, based on my knowledge of your property, the price I'm recommending for the property, and having rapport with you, does that seem like a fair number? And um, so I wanted to, and then just shut up. You just sit, you don't say anything. You just let them stew on it or go, yeah, that's fine. Well, what's interesting, it was a minor close right then and there. I didn't say they were listing with you, but sometimes people go, that's fine. Let's go for it. And because there is generally a phrase you use at the very end. It's on a different video called The Final 5 Minutes. It's a different video in the series, The Final 5 Minutes of a Listing Presentation, how to have that great close. But on the brokerage fee, because you come up before the close, write down what the buyer's agent side or the transaction agent side agent would get, and then write what you would get. Maybe it's more, maybe it's less. It's your decision. Personally, what I want to see for agents is that they're making 5 grand or 10 grand or 15 grand every month. Personally, I don't care if an agent took 3 deals to make 7,500 that month. And somebody else would go, that's ridiculous. You're giving it away. Well, when I was going through cancer and then stage 4 cancer, and then I was going through just a horrible, horrible depression. The pain was so great. I wanted to die. It was horrific. So I went back out in the industry. I hadn't been working for 5 years, and I had let's say a creative brokerage fee. And other agents were like, "You're going too low. You're going too low." I'm thinking, "Well, you make my house payment. I haven't made an income in years." And so, but within a year and a half, I was over $400,000 in GCI, and within a year and a half. But did I start out creatively? You bet I did. I just needed a paycheck. I haven't had a paycheck in so long. I was taking brokerage fees at less than other people thought I should. So it's your call, your broker's call, whatever the case, it's your business. And the objective, though, is get listings to get the experience to secure the seller sometimes as a buyer, so your LO can get a loan and you can get the buyer their next property, so you can get referrals. So I'm a proponent of get the listing priced right from a motivated seller and get yourself a paycheck, get yourself some life experience. And so if you're going in there and you're saying, I want this much commission, and the other people you're competing with who may be more competent than you because they've been doing it longer, doesn't mean they're more competent, but if they have more life skills and stuff like that, and they're under you, then you're not going to win. So brokerage fee is part of the process. Now the LEAP program adds a lot of value to your conversation you're having with the seller. But the two things you're really interested in, what's your price you recommend on our property, and what's your brokerage fee to solve the problem. And so do whatever you'd like to. I'm just sharing with you my priority in the coaching program is that you get a paycheck, you get a victory. I cannot tell you how elated you'll be when you go, I got a listing. And then you get the next week, I got a listing. Next week, I got a listing. And now you're starting to get referrals because you're posting this stuff in your social media saying, I listed a house for this, listed another house for this. Now your friends and family will start taking recognition of you when you start carrying inventory. And then when you go, I just sold my listing. Those are some things that you get to marketing, because remember, this is the prospecting river. FSBOs are the prospecting river. Marketing is the marketing river. It goes really slow. Nothing may even happen. And until you kind of feed the water with successes you're having. So, anyways, hope this tip was helpful to you, how to address the brokerage fee. And if you have any questions, reach out to me about that and about, but what if I want to go higher? What if I can go higher? Um, my focus again is, are you making at least 5 grand a month, 10 grand a month, 12 grand a month consistently? And the buy owner marketplaces, they're looking for sometimes creative fees. You have to give it away, but you do have to get hired. All right, thank you.